Hi guys, if it's Tuesday, it's Down and Dirty Woodscraft. Stay with me. Okay guys, today we're going to be talking about a piece of gear that you need to keep in your kit. And that's a piece of gear that you don't really need until you got to have it, and there's very little to substitute, and that's a compass. But what we want to talk about is when you go to get a compass, what you're looking for. Now let's, for just a second, talk about a compass, how a compass works. Everybody understands that. But everybody understands that a compass works by the idea of a magnetic needle of some kind, and it is in, shall we say, the magnetic wind, like a flag, and it will turn to point north. Although here recently the magnetic north of the earth has been moving, so if you're going to be doing any navigation with a compass, you need to call or look up the U.S. Geologic, I believe it is, look up, and it will tell you what your declination is today, because mine was 0 for a long time, and then it went to 2 degrees, 3 degrees, and I think it's back down to 1 degree now. As that thing moves around, it's been moving around a lot here lately. So, but when you go to get a compass, what you're looking for is how sensitive is the compass, because all this is a piece of metal that's either had something magnetic painted onto a needle or a piece of metal magnetized. And since these are made in large industrial batches, how magnetized is it? In essence, how sensitive. Now you're also going to hear about liquid fill. That is to dampen it, so the needle isn't too loose. You want it so free flowing that it will turn easily in the magnetic, and yet not just every little thing throw it off. That's the reason they put it in water. But how sensitive? See, that's the thing. If it's not that sensitive, not that magnetic, it will not correct for minor little changes. So I start off going straight on, let's say, a 0 angle, and I'm slightly angling. Well, I'm actually off at like 3 or 4 degrees for whatever turns and shows me I've been off. So I'm doing this. A more sensitive compass would tell you, wait a minute, you moved. Okay? And here's a little test that I do with my compasses to find out how sensitive it is. Let me set the camera up and I'll show you. Stay with me. Okay, what you see here is a cheap little compass I'm going to be demonstrating with. And I've drawn a line that is 1-inch increments further out to show how close. Now I'm going to be using one of these magnetic tools, like that telescopes that you're going to be using to recover a screw or something like that. Now the compass is sitting at present pointing at north. If I come up here and I touch it, you see how the needle falls to it. I let go of it and you see how slow it settles back. And making sure that's level right there, relatively level. If I touch it, it turns. At 1 inch out, it wants to go back, but it doesn't. At 2 inches out, it does start going back. At 3 inches out, it starts drifting away, but it is affected. 4 inches out. 5 inches out. And finally I take it away. And it settles back to where it was. So I could say this cheap compass is really about 3 inches, because if I put it there, you see the needle moves at 3 inches out. I let it settle back. I put it at 6 inches. Nothing. 5 inches. Nothing. 4 inches. It does move. So this one has about a 4-inch sensitivity right there. Now let's look at a cheap Walmart type compass. These are very inexpensive. Like that. Put that right there. Now, touch it, it immediately moves. 1 inch, it moves. 2 inch, it moves. 3 inch, it moves. 4 inch, it moves. 5 inch, it does wiggle. 6 inch, it barely does. So this compass is actually sensitive out to about 5 inches. Even though it's a dirt cheap compass, it's more sensitive than this compass is. Now let me show you another compass, and this is a very old vintage Boy Scout compass. Just to give you an idea. This one was made probably in the 50s. Okay? 6 inches out, it moves. 7 inches out, it moves. 8 inches out, it moves. 9 inches out, it moves. 10 inches out. See it wiggling? That's 10 inches away. I know you can't even see that, but I'm 10 inches away, and I'm making that compass move 10 inches out. So that's how sensitive that compass is. So, a cheap, inexpensive compass will point you if all you need is basic direction. Where this compass would be useful is I'm not going to carry a topo. I'm not really doing land nav. What I'm doing is I'm just simply, if I get lost, I have boxed it like I've talked about in the past, knowing that due north of here is a highway, due east of here is a river, due west of here is a big such and such area, and due south of here is whatever. This will keep me going at least in a relative straight area, north, west, general direction, yes, but it's not sensitive. I wouldn't want to use this for land nav. And this old vintage Boy Scout compass is so sensitive that 10 inches away it turns. And this one was like 4 inches. Several of those Chinese made Kamingas are 2 to 3 inches away. So they're not very sensitive, okay? If you're doing navigation, you want sensitive, because I need to know that I'm starting to drift. So, in conclusion, what you want to do is get you one of those magnetic pointers or some piece of metal. Whatever you're going to use, this is my establishment, right? When I go to buy the compass, take it and hold it out here. Get away from any of the metal at the counter or anything. Step out here, don't have any metal arm bands on or anything. Put it in the palm of your hand and see roughly how far away you have to move that piece of metal to make that needle move. If you're looking for a very sensitive compass for navigation, you want the biggest, farthest out you can get. If you're looking for general direction, as long as it does react, and you still test it. I have gotten rid of it since, but I had a compass that was about a $30 compass, and I could touch the magnet to the side of the case, and then the needle would turn. I could walk in a 360 and the needle wouldn't move until I stood there 5 minutes. Not the compass I want to do anything with. Hope this gives you some ideas, guys. Please leave any questions or comments below. Until next time, I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge Woodscraft, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.